Hello and welcome today to the new Velocity Kinetics video. I do apologise about the lack of content this week. As you can probably tell by my voice, I am not feeling great today. Now I do apologise if I sound a bit breathless, not unfit, although could be fitter obviously. Well, at least I hope I'm not that unfit, but just a very bad summer cold. I keep testing, it's not COVID, thank God. But what's annoying is people have had tested positive for COVID and had less, or the same, but there we are. But today's episode we're talking about, well, the main thing that's in the press a lot these days. And I'm making this today because starting this today, because I am so full of cold and flu tablets, I might forget that I've started this one. And future Chris will thank past Chris if we do this. So it's not a Swathe video at all, whilst it does affect the Swathe and just about everything else on the market. We are talking, that was going to be so good if I could have remembered how to pull it open. We are talking petrol. Fuel is at a record high in the UK at the moment. And it seems so like it's only going to get higher. So how the fuck has this happened? How the fuck are we going to continue going on? And what can we do about it? So I would like to tag this video as a we answer, but this really isn't a we answer. This is just a generic Velocity Kinetics episode. So let's roll the clip, shall we? Hopefully I've placed myself so there's no wind noise for this. Now, I started the intro a couple of weeks ago when my cold was at its worst. I lost my voice the next day for about 3 hours. It was a thing. But looking at fuel prices at the moment in, well, I'd say the UK because that's what I've got information on, but globally, it's nuts. There's no other way to put it. How can you expect to keep running a vehicle when it costs so much just to keep it on the road? Never mind actually going to do anything fun. Never mind me saying to Sarah, going, "Oh, I know what, fancy a day trip out to Lincoln. Let's go to Lincoln," which from where we live is about 70 miles away one way. Or going, you know what? I haven't seen we haven't seen your grandma for a little while. Let's go up to there for the weekend and say hello. And that's a 280 miles journey. 250 miles from where we live. That's one way. And that, even with what that car can do in terms of fuel economy and miles per gallon, that's still there's still a tank and a bit of fuel to do it. And I've only got a 40 litre fuel tank, and when petrol's nearly £2 a litre, if you have to fill it up from empty, that's nearly 80 quid. Just to be able to go do something nice for family. Never mind trying to go to work, for God's sake. For me at the moment, I've got to work out of Ipswich for the next couple of weeks. Now, where I normally work out of Stowmarket is 19 miles from here to work one way, so 38 miles a day. I am meant to be getting some fuel expenses for it soon, which I think going to be somewhere around the 230 mark a month, which will make a huge difference for me. But when I was told I was going to get these expenses, I was hoping that I could use that to make things better for me in other ways. I was hoping I could pay off a couple of little bits of finance that just I can never quite get to the finishing line of. As in the monthly payments would be good to have back in my bank account, i.e. not spending them. A credit card that just, I get so close to finishing off, and then a monthly payment goes out and I can't then quite afford to keep the can't quite afford to then not get rid of the card and have to put a little bit on it and find myself stuck in that circle, stuck in that loop. There are people who are far worse off than myself, people who are far better off than myself. But, you know, that's just, why does it feel like you nearly need to be earning north of 30 grand a year just to be able to go to work at the moment? Never mind affording the other running costs on said vehicle, never mind actually trying to buy one, how much they've gone up at the moment. You know, You want to treat yourself to a new car, for example, because you deserve it, or the other one's becoming a bit of a problem, or you're allowed to change your opinion. You might not like your car anymore, but they're costing so much. Your car might have a good engine underneath it and does really good miles per gallon. You've got to keep it because it does good MPG. There's no governmental accountability as to what's happening. All sorts of stupid article on stupid article at the moment about how to save money. You can do this. These top 10 tips to save money on your fuel bill. Swapping to an electric car will get rid of your fuel bill entirely. You peasant, how could you not afford a Tesla? How can you not afford to go high? Oh, you're still chugging around in a diesel? Oh, fuck's sake. I don't get it. I appreciate the war in Ukraine and sanctions on Russia have... There's no way to put it. It's fucked things up for everyone royally, in many ways. And that's not just in the UK, other parts of Europe, even across the pond. I was chatting to my friend Liam last night. He was saying that his wife Rocio, it cost her nearly $100 to fill up her car. And they've just got a conventional sedan. It's not like they've got an SUV anymore. And they're not earning fantastic wages. And obviously in America, he's got to factor in medical bills. You know, there's a meme going around on Facebook every once in a while at the moment with the fuel bill increase, saying I hope fuel doesn't go up anymore because I'm not built for OnlyFans. And there's, why should people... OnlyFans used to be a joke, as in, I can't afford that, can't afford this, better start doing OnlyFans. Want to buy a house, better do some OnlyFans. It is so infuriating that we find ourselves in this position. But like I say, what bothers me so much is there's no government help. Rishi Sunak introduced that 5p a litre discount on fuel duty tax, which is due to come back on at some point in the next couple of years. 5 pence! That was only about £3, £3.50 over a tank of petrol. And most retailers didn't pass on the discount. The fuck are we meant to do? What's even more bothersome when you look into it is the headlines that you see in the media at the moment, and it's not very reassuring that help is going to come from anywhere anytime soon. People are trying all sorts of tricks to save fuel. People saying that these tricks are now not going to be usable, they're going to be banned. And then, no, there's the only way I can put it. Then you've got people being pre-charged at the pump. You've got people questioning how on earth are they going to even get to work. Fuel costs going up day after day after day after day after day. And there was something I saw, it was a clip from Question Time, where people saying actually a barrel of oil costs the same as it did nearly 10 years ago. And yet we're paying so much more than we did then. And then we were paying £1.30 a litre, and we were all bloody disgusted. They're now a long way past that, and it's still going on. Fuel theft is on the rise. Sunak is supposedly considering another fuel duty cut, but whether that's going to happen or not, you've got things like that meme that goes around every once in a while that says that 20 in the gas tank isn't 20 quite like it used to. It's like, I can't fill my car up for 20 quid anymore. I used to, and that was when I had a Baleno. My most recent fuel outing, 22 litres, £42. That's a hybrid. And some of the articles, you don't see much focusing on elsewhere, but people in Sri Lanka are asked not to travel for a few days. People are driving a lot slower. Well, in theory, they're driving a lot slower. I've not seen that much of it. People driving slower to get more out of their car. People are feeling like their forecourts are just racketeering. That is just using it to make a quick buck, and supposedly they don't make an awful lot on a tank of petrol anyway. But you can't help but wonder whether that is the case, because some of the parent companies will report large profits shortly. And then the thing that gets my goat with a lot of this is people are going, we've got this hack, we've got that hack, and this hack. Now there is that quite amusing TikToker who has a go at all these different life hacks. I can't remember his name now, but you'll know the gesture that he makes. But we're getting the same with fuel. People going, this hack, that hack. And it's just, when everything else is going up, when I could just about cope with fuel going up if my food bill wasn't going up. And we aren't buying any more food than what we do normally. But I was saying to Sarah yesterday after we finished shopping, we used to say 50 quid at Aldi was a luxury shop, and that was a lot of food, a lot more than we actually needed. So we're probably buying things like washing powder and things like that. 50 quid at the moment is very rare, or like 60. And when you look at it, you've only got 3 bags. There's not an awful lot there. And then people are saying you need to try making your car more... They're directly attacking by saying you need to make your car more fuel efficient, etc. And it's like, well, I can't do any more than what I can do. And some people, typically people who are politically on the right of the spectrum, are saying the government can't solve every problem. They can't solve the fuel crisis, etc. They can't solve prices of fuel going up and up and up and up. But you don't need to be on the left. You don't need to be as far left as they are right, or you don't need to be a centralist. There has to be something to fix this, and I honestly don't know. And some people go, well, just buy an electric car. It's like, gee, fanny fucking tastic. If only it was so simple. If it was that simple to buy an electric car, I would have bought a hybrid. I'd have bought an electric. There are lots of factors going on. Never mind any sort of government rebate you may get. I don't know. So I'm flicking through the headlines that I've been sort of screenshotting recently to sort of illustrate my point, and it's just, I just can't put it into words how much it's an annoyance. So how do we try and resolve this video, really? I hate doing videos where it's just a giant rant. And there isn't any real way to resolve this. Because I know some people, as you've been watching, you probably have thought it's economy, it's supply and demand, it's this, it's that, it's what have you. But if you want to, go to work, have a bit of fun, you've really got to think about it now. You can't just go. And yes, we can put it all on the government, which I happily do because I'm not a fan of this government at all. So what do you do? Do we just walk away? Do we fight it through and through? Petition? Debate? Do we go back to working from home, for those of us who can? Save the fuel, get the prices back down. Might be a very sensible idea. I know one thing that's very certain at the moment. We don't know what's going to happen next, at all. That is certainly one thing that's a certainty. Next week it could go, oh, never mind, we found some more reserves, prices come plummeted back down, and nobody gives a fig anymore, at least in the UK. We could get a very radical shift to remove fuel duty tax, or VAT, off our fuel in the UK. Realistically, no, I don't think it'll happen. But it could, and that would help out massively at the pump. You're paying fuel duty tax and then value-added tax on the fuel duty tax. It's a bit not right. We've let ourselves get into this situation far too much. We saw the iceberg and we did nothing. And this isn't just a politician thing. Economists didn't shout loudly enough, at least based on what coverage you saw in the media. They didn't shout loudly enough. People have sort of rolled over and got pacified by it. A lot of older generations are going, oh, we lived through this in the 70s, but in the 70s your wages went up in line with the rate of inflation. With a recent base rate increase on a £200,000 mortgage, your monthly payments, your yearly payments gone up by £2,000 a year. I don't know anyone whose pay's gone up by £2,000. 200 maybe, but not 2,000. I want to be the solution, but I don't think I have the solution. Far from it. There is only one thing I can think to do at this moment in time. Let's get in my car and have a think. I implore you all to have a think. Drive safe, but let's think. What is the way forward? How do we fix this? Is it fixable? Is this it? Is it a case of you've just got to save up and go electric? Never mind hybrid, have you just got to go electric? I know one thing though, because it's got my head quite cloudy now. I need to get my head cleared a bit. I need to drive.